Hey fans, me Aaron for a comic show. We got a stack of books again, new stuff, good stuff. G.I. Joe vs. Street Fighter, DKIII's out for real. That's cool. And let's talk about comics. There was that big thing with DC Rebirth and not a lot of details. I mean, their titles, their shipping schedules, they're all the things that I suppose a retailer might want to know because it was presented to retailers, but there's not things that me as a fan want to know. And also as a retailer because I want to know what the fans want to know to order stuff. Like there's no creative teams, there's no page counts, I don't know, man. It's yes, DC needs to do something, and some of that stuff sounds cool, like Ted Cord Blue Beetle, and like seriously, just call it the Blue Beetles. I mean, Beetles just roll off the tongue. You know, like the Beatles. Like if you could have more than one anything, it should be the Beatles. Like maybe get 4 of them and make Ted one. Just do it, DC. Don't be stupid. But anyway. This week, we have 2 big books, DKIII, The Master Race, and Superman Coming of the Supermen. Both kind of sound like Nazi propaganda, The Master Race and Coming of the Supermen. That's just the type of stuff you do when you deal with Superman. Superman has to have these big political type stories, and DKIII was the book that has surprised me. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed this issue again. Lots of cool stuff happened, lots of like aw shit moments. I imagine it's mainly Azzarello, because I didn't particularly care for Dark Knight Strikes Again, but this issue has, the mini book is Green Lantern. That's fun. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. And you know, I'm not gonna spoil anything with like the Batman and the Superman and their offsprings and Lex and bombs and nutty stuff and all that, but I enjoyed it. Coming of Superman, it's Neil Adams. And I respect Neil Adams' contribution to making Batman's cape longer and stuff like that. And Green Lantern, Green Arrow, love that stuff. That's great. That's great stuff. But this book feels like it's trying to be modern, but still kind of like a time capsule type of thing. And if you're a big Superman fan, you'll like it. You'll like it. I don't get at all how it's in continuity. Not that that matters, but I did read an interview where he pretty much says, no, it's in continuity. And he gives Superman back his underwear on the outside, and I guess that's super important to him. And, you know, Lois Lane's in here as, I guess, the voice of all women. She's basically the only female character in this because there's no female Kryptonians in this book. But having said all these things, I love big, grandiose ideas for Superman, and I like this thing of, okay, now there's other people from Krypton, what's he gonna do? And if you're an old school Superman fan, you will like it. If you are a new school, New 52 Superman fan, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You might not like it. Moving on. Justice League Darkseid War Part 8. This is my jam. This is the Jeff Johns DC Universe stuff that traces all the way back to his JSA and his Star Spangled Kid. This is the crescendo of Jeff Johns' work with the New 52. It's huge. The scope can't get any bigger, and I freaking love it. So Darkseid War, when that comes out in a collection, if you haven't gotten it issue per issue, do check it out. It does not matter where it fits in continuity. It's that freaking good. It doesn't matter that Hal's this way in Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern Corps is this way over here, and Flash and Superman and all, none of that matters. This story, wherever it takes place, is just that epic that it really, who cares? Who cares what's going on in the individual books? This book is awesome, and it'll be just as awesome 10 years from now as it is today. Jeff Johns' Darkseid War is epic. Moving on to DC. X-Men, the worst X-Man ever by Max Bemis. I'm told that he's a rock star from a band called Say Anything. I wikied that. I don't know. I'm just not big on new music. I don't know. Whatever. But he's written other stuff in the past, stuff for Boom and whatnot. And I actually really enjoyed this book. I don't have to know anything about the dude and how much of a superstar he is with music or whatever. I enjoyed the X-Men. And if you are a fan of kind of the iconic X-Men of 90s and beyond, it's there. You got your Wolverine, you got your Jubilee, you got all the cool costumes you like. It doesn't matter where it fits. And you got this main character that is a really shitty mutant. He's the world's worst X-Men, and he literally is. He is. Like, you know how some can like shoot energy and Cannonball can like run into things, and you remember like the Megasonic can like make things blow up that she touches and stuff like that. Well, this dude can basically spontaneously combust like a firecracker, but he dies because it doesn't, like, his molecules don't reform after that. He can do it one time and die. And he still, I guess, wants to be at the school because the school's cool, but so essentially, he's teenage me. So I can read this as what if teenage me was a mutant and in the X-Men, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So take from that what you will. It's funny, it's fun, it's nostalgic, and I liked it. Karnak, finally out, the flaw in all things. Yeah, I'll tell you what the flaw is, how freaking late it is. But Warren Ellis, love his work. Karnak's great. The first issue felt very, very heavily like House, like, you know, the TV show House, where that weird dude, British guy could like see the flaw in whatever someone's illness was. It's like this, but this guy does it with all things. All things he can see the flaw in. And yes, he's inhuman. Not that necessarily is critical. And yeah, like he can't, getting into this character with Warren Ellis, I like it. Like the fact that he can't drink any water unless it's like from a glacier, because he's like, I'm not drinking this shit. I can see all the nasty shit in this water. And relationships, how can he be in a relationship when he sees the flaw in the other person, the flaw in the relationship, the flaw? So yeah, it's a good book. I'm enjoying it. It's only 2 issues so far, but yay, it's awesome. Karnak is a win for the new Marvel. All new, all now, all different, all that. It's great. Daredevil. For some reason, I just realized with this book how much it feels like a modern Frank Miller run. Like not just artistically, but just the whole tone and mood, and I'm really enjoying it. Avengers, finally get to see why Vision's being such an asshole. I'm digging this book. I like the generational gap with the team. I like the things they're doing with Thor and Sam, Captain America. More progress was made on that, and yeah, dude, they're a thing. Cool. They kiss. Take that, racists. And Chewbacca. This book had an awesome ending. This book had payoff that I freaking loved. And it's pretty. It's a very pretty book. It's not like heavily consequential to canon or whatever for Chewbacca, but it did have something that has been like the most burning thing about Chewbacca at the end of New Hope. So I enjoyed it, and if you are a long-time Star Wars fan, you'll probably like it too. And moving on, this book I loved. Street Fighter G.I. Joe #1. It is pure G.I. Joe bullshit. Like, pure bullshit. And I love it. Like, I am not a big Street Fighter fan because I quit anything that's hard. I've always done that my whole life. That's my fatal flaw. What redeems me is I'm really good at things at the first try, so, you know, I'll just keep doing those things. But Street Fighter, I know it from Marvel vs. Capcom. Whenever I try to play, someone would just kick my ass and laugh. I'd button mash, and I'd be embarrassed, and it was like, you know, climbing the rope in gym class, and I'd go hang my head in shame. This book, however, takes what's essential with both franchises, which is combat, which is fighting. That, you know, knowing's half the battle, and I guess the other half of the battle is street fighting, because that's what it is here. And they have this World Warrior challenge thing. I don't know why they didn't call it Road Warrior if it's Street Fighter. Oh, that's probably trademarked. But World Warrior tournament bracket, who's gonna win? You get fight after fight after fight. Seriously, all this book is fights. Great fight scenes, great choreographed fight scenes written by someone that wrote for the WWE. I guess, that's what I read in the back. Pretty cool. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And the thing why it's pure G.I. Joe bullshit is, remember how Cobra Commander and Destro had all these cockamamie things like, we're gonna change the weather and we'll make it snow all the time and they'll pay us millions of dollars to make it stop snowing with our weather controller. Somehow, Destro claims he has this WMD that is powered by one-on-one combat. Seriously, like seriously. That's why these people have to fight each other to power this weapon. And that's what it is. And I enjoyed it. The first issue was great. You could tell that there was a lot of authenticity, I could tell, for the G.I. Joe parts. I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan. I know the characters. and I enjoyed the hell of the book. Obviously, I'm rooting for Joe. Snake Eyes is the best. Fight Club's almost over. I think it's only going to be 10 issues. This is issue 9. Shit hits the fan this issue. Rick and Morty, every issue is phenomenal. Every issue is a standalone episode, essentially. And if you're a Rick and Morty fan that misses the show complaining how long it's going to take for the next season to start, the only excuse you have for not reading this is being illiterate. Like, seriously, there's no other excuse or you're just, gave it up for Lent. I don't know. Like, read the freaking book. Faith #2, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I know with the first issue, I was like, there's all this bullshit fat shaming on the internet, and I saw it. I saw it happen, and I saw it get shut down, and I laughed so hard. There's people posting, no one would want to read a book about a overweight superhero. Why, this is just about like bad role models, overweight superheroes. No one would ever want it. And then cover to Archer and Armstrong, also a Valiant book, which features a very overweight Armstrong. And the cover said, "See a fat man run." And people did buy that book, and people did enjoy that book. So the issue isn't an overweight superhero, the issue is obviously sexism. Done. So enjoy the book if you're going to enjoy it, and if you don't think you'll enjoy it, just shut the hell up. It's easy. Or, prove that you're a sexist asshole. That's fine. That's also an option on the internet, I hear, especially in the comments, maybe the comments of this video. Saga's out. Love Saga. Cry Havoc. Lesbian werewolf at war. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Lots of hyena stuff. I learned more about hyenas in 2 pages of this than I learned from the entire movie of Lion King. Kudos. It's a very fun horror war book. And yeah, lesbian werewolves. It's great. And it's lots of weird animal folklore. And in the back has all kinds of annotations that I haven't read yet, but I really do want to get to reading it because it looked awesome. And finally, the goddamn Jason Aaron, Before the Flood. This book is awesome. Even if you don't get this book, even if you don't plan on buying this book, you didn't get the first issue, didn't get the second issue, just read the first page of this issue because it's Adam and Eve with their kids, Cain and Abel, just telling each other to F off and how much they hate each other. And it was awesome. I loved it. I loved it. There's a throwaway line in the Bible where it said the world was so wicked and the most wicked, evil nastiness ever. And then God made a flood to kill everybody except for, Noah or whatnot. And this is the book about that evil wickedness. That's a story I want to tell. Why they just gloss over that? I mean, maybe it's so bad that a deity should have killed everyone. I mean, is there a reason for mass genocide? The goddamn will answer that. I enjoyed it. Thanks, bye-bye.